We live in a world in which we're consistently being sold lifestyles. Some companies want you to buy their sports drinks. Others want to sell you their activewear, though neither really cares if you actually live the way their ads suggest. The car world is no different. 90% of pickup trucks that you see on the road have nothing in their beds, nothing being towed, and nobody in the back seats of their crew cab. Not all hybrid drivers are as concerned with the environment as their green badges may imply. As a result, many car manufacturers will attempt to build a bold, stylish design, but somewhere between the concept and production, the car turns out to be surprisingly slow. These cars may look fast, but their performance will leave you deeply disappointed. So here are 7 slow cars only stupid people think are fast. The Hyundai VELOSTER. Don't be fooled by the bold and trendy style yet asymmetrical doors of the Hyundai VELOSTER. It's this stylish look that gives most people an impression that this car has serious speed behind it, though we would never advocate for compromising on speed. Sometimes it gets a little tempting. Astonishingly, the Hyundai VELOSTER has a 1.6-liter engine, 128 horsepower, and takes up to a massive 11 seconds to hit 60 miles per hour. On the bright side, this is the first model for Hyundai that comes with a dual-clutch gearbox, although later on the automaker did introduced a turbo version. The VELOSTER is sadly an extremely sluggish car, and slow as the SCION TC. During the early months of 2016, Toyota announced the defunding of SCION, another one of their automotive manufacturers/brands. For those who are paying attention, this decision wasn't exactly a shocking one. Not only had they failed to live up to standards, but they had also made below-average vehicles for a long time. One such vehicle that didn't impress much was a SCION TC. It was different than the usual SCION. It had a sporty profile, 2 doors, and a focus on performance. Under the hood, the car holds a 2.4-liter i4 179 horsepower engine. Unfortunately, this model takes up to 7 seconds to reach 60 miles per hour, and more than 15 seconds to complete the quarter mile. The car looked great in person, but in reality, it was slow as hell. The Kia Forte. The Kia Forte is a car that's somewhat aggressive looking, particularly with a body kit. It is relatively affordable and had big sales among wannabe racers and with the younger generation. If Kia had made a slight investment into the performance of this car, it would have been ranked among the top performers. However, its 1.6-liter engine with 124 horsepower, coupled with a slow automatic transmission and a massive 8.1 second 0 to 60 time, is evidence enough that the Forte is a fast-looking yet disappointing performer. The Mercedes-Benz SLK 200. Almost anyone would turn to a Mercedes-Benz for comfort, and most of all, elegance. The smart, sporty look that integrated well with its folding roof was quite a sight to those who care to look. However, this state-of-the-art machine was only powered by a 1.8-liter engine and could only deliver 185 horsepower. Unfortunately, the top folding roof that was amazingly cheered on by many actually added more weight and reduced the performance of this car. The Hyundai TIBURON. Even before the VELOSTER came with its bold and aggressive design, the Hyundai TIBURON was a stylish version of the Hyundai. The 2-door coupe was famous for its sporty design and budget friendliness. Under all that style and sleek design was a 2-liter engine producing 140 horsepower that went from 0 to 60 in an extremely long 7.6 seconds, making it an utter disappointment when it comes to performance. The Nissan JUKE. The frog-eyed Nissan JUKE can easily deceive you into thinking that it's fast. Even with a turbocharged 1.6-liter 180 horsepower engine, this car is far from impressive regarding performance, despite its all-wheel drive. Among the smaller class of vehicles, the Nissan JUKE does quite well when compared to the rest. Its performance records stand at 9 seconds before reaching 60 miles per hour, and more than 16 seconds to complete the quarter mile. However, if you still like this car, the Nismo RS variant has 215 horsepower, and is a much more powerful car. The Toyota MR2. The redesigned MR2 had questionable styling but excellent handling. Weighing at just 2,200 pounds and a mid-sized mounted engine driving the rear wheels, this car seemed to be destined for success. Sadly, like the CELICA, its fatal flaw proved to be its 1.8-liter inline 4-cylinder engine. The car's poorly designed exhaust also robbed it of a few horses, and it hit the street with a laughable 138 horsepower. Even the later addition of a 6-speed manual couldn't save it, as the Honda S2000 offered 100 more horsepower for a similar price. While it looks sporty and does take corners nicely, you'll be doing them at a very low speed. The Porsche Cayenne. Porsche, performance, power, and wealth have always been used in the same sentence. In fact, the mere sight of their logo sends quick assurance that a massive load of performance is packed under the hood. Unfortunately, this isn't the case for the Porsche Cayenne, a car that deceivingly looks quite fast for its class. The Porsche Cayenne takes 7.3 seconds to move from 0 to 60 and records a top speed of only 147 miles per hour, which according to Porsche's standards and price makes it the slowest expensive car known to man. The Chevy Corvette C3. The Chevy Corvette C3 is a car that looks like it will go 100,000 miles per hour, but it actually does very little when it comes to speed. It may be fast looking, but it's actually the opposite, taking more than 9 seconds to hit 60 miles per hour. And for a fast car, that's a failure of epic proportions. The C3 is a perfect example of looks that can deceive. The Mitsubishi Lancer GT. Probably the main reason why most people would think this is a fast car is because of its resemblance to the Evolution. It also comes with sleek looks, particularly its front FISKER, which give it an impression of a sports car. Unfortunately, the Mitsubishi Lancer GT lacks in performance, which of course is a critical aspect of any fast car. It comes with a 168 horsepower 2.4-liter engine and takes more than 8 agonizing seconds to go from 0 to 60. Compared to the Evolution's turbocharged 291 horsepower engine, the Mitsubishi Lancer is a car lacking serious performance. The Mazda 6. Among the brand's models, the Mazda 6 has an attractive look. It has a fancy, sleek design that makes it feel a lot faster than it actually is. Under the hood is a 2.5-liter engine making 184 horsepower and 185 pound-feet of torque. If you think the 6-speed manual is fast, then you're in for a surprise because the automatic one is slightly faster. Sadly, it takes at least 7 seconds to hit 60 miles per hour, making it one of the slowest fast-looking cars on the planet. The Toyota Celica. When the Toyota Celica was introduced, it was advertised with the slogan, quote, "looks fast." Don't be fooled by its looks though, as this vehicle is actually one of the slowest cars on earth. The Celica's action package added a large wing, body kit, and updated front end. Unfortunately, Toyota brought the looks but forgot the power. The base model's 1.8-liter 4-cylinder engine produced a pitiful 140 horsepower, and the high-end GTS model added only 180 horsepower and a 6-speed transmission, but it was basically impossible to modify. Bolt-ons were expensive and the engine was unfriendly to boost due to a high compression ratio. So even if you wanted to make the slow car fast, stock is where you're stuck. The Fisker Karma. This massive sporty sedan can glide on electric motors or use a combination of gas or electric for best performance. 0 to 60 takes 5.8 seconds and it can complete a quarter mile in 14.5. These numbers would be acceptable for a 10-year-old RX-8, but the Karma's deceiving supercar looks leave drivers expecting much more. If it looked like a Chevy Bolt, everybody would marvel in its subpar numbers. Instead, since it looks like an edgy Tesla Model S, people expect the performance to match. The base Model S runs better numbers for half the price, and the P85D in ludicrous mode runs a crushing 2.8 seconds 0 to 60 and is a whole 4 seconds faster in the quarter mile, all at the same price tag. No wonder Fisker went bankrupt. The Honda CR-Z. Up next, we have the Honda CR-Z, a sporty-looking hatchback that desperately deserves some sort of powerful engine to appeal to enthusiasts but never got one. Instead, the CR-Z was sold with a hybrid 4-cylinder that made about 130 horsepower. The result? Despite its looks, its two-door design, and a fairly low curb weight, the CR-Z did a 0 to 60 in 9 seconds and had a top speed of only 120 miles per hour. Effectively, the CR-Z was a hybrid for people who wanted to look fast. People who actually wanted to go fast were out of luck. The DeLorean. No list of fast-looking slow cars could possibly be complete without the DeLorean. Despite the car's design, which still looks pretty good today, and despite its world-famous movie performance where it quickly reached 88 miles per hour and traveled through time, the DeLorean was dog slow. It used a 2.8-liter V6 that made about 130 horsepower, which was weak for the time period, and its 0 to 60 time was in 8.8 seconds, which was slow for the time period. It also didn't help that many DeLorean models use a 3-speed automatic transmission, which further hampered performance. The Mitsubishi Eclipse. Debuting 25 years ago, the Eclipse was a definition of a poor man's sports car, delivering a lot of turbocharged bang for the buck. The third generation Eclipse removed the turbos, replacing them with a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, producing a sad 147 horsepower. It also gained some weight and added a weird body design as a cherry on top. Finally, the fourth generation Eclipse added some fun with a 263 horsepower V6, but it also added the curb weight of a Mustang GT without the torque, not to mention that it was front wheel drive, immediately disqualifying it as a legitimate sports car. So if you want a flashy car that will lose to a stock 15-year-old Mustang, the Eclipse should be number 1 on your list. The Dodge Dart. Dodge is a brand synonymous with power, and their vehicles are favorites among many people that like to go fast. Therefore, the name probably suggests that the car has speed, but that's as far as it gets when it comes to actual performance. The Dodge Dart is powered by a 2-liter engine, producing 160 horsepower and 148 pound-feet of torque. Unfortunately, it takes more than 7 disappointing seconds to hit 60 miles per hour. So if you want a slow-ass car that looks fast as hell, then the Dodge Dart is an ideal choice. Well guys, those are 7 slow cars that only stupid people think are fast. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, if you like what you see at the channel, subscribe and put post notifications on. You could also follow the channel on Instagram at Modern Muscle YT. I'm Jeff from Modern Muscle, and I'll see ya next time.